basically there's a part from JSI, which is this one, which is actually referencing a Tech model. Let's take a look. As JSI. Well, it's in spaces. Oh no. RPM pod patches and patches mod, and we've got made internal, which is this one. Now this is an internal module when you go to an IVA mode, and there it is. It's referencing a Tech module. And I'm pretty sure I don't have Tech installed. Yep, I don't. Thanks, JSI. Again, this is another example of how this config should have a condition that checks for the Tech mod installed. So while this is not slowing down KSP to more than 1/1000th of a second, it spams your log file. It's really not the done thing, or at least not these days. Way back like 6+ months ago, in 0.23, errors of this sort were commonplace, while they were getting Module Manager up to speed, etc. But now with Module Manager being pretty much bog standard, there's really no need for errors like this to be coming up. So again, that will be a bug report. Yeah, another one. Oh, that's the one we've been working on, isn't it? No, here's a different one. Habitat pack. Again, JSI config there is referencing the Habitat mod. I don't have that installed. KSP will pretty much ignore that config, but you know, it gets a bit ridiculous at times. Let's have a look. There's another one. Again, JSI referencing SH mods. What the hell is that? I'd never even heard of that one. This looks like it's an alternate Mark II cockpit mod. Internal. And it's like, really? I would have thought that the SH mod itself would have had configs in its own patch config to change that part. I give up. Seriously, here's another one. Compiling internal space, and there we go. Cannot clone it. Directory as model does not exist. I'm just going to file a huge bug report for the JSI stuff. And that is the last error in the log file. So it may seem very arduous and long-winded. We've been going for quite a while, an hour and 45 minutes. I mean, I've been explaining what I've been doing, what I'm looking for as I've been going through. but this gives everybody an idea of what to expect in their config, what to look for, and certain things, how to fix them. Now some things obviously I can't fix because I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be referencing, and sometimes pointing it to what you think it's referencing can be a very bad thing. So most of the time the safest answer is to leave it alone and just file a bug report. Plus also, one of the good things about doing that is if you're being this what's the correct word here? I know the one I was thinking of. If you're being this finicky about your configs and you're reporting these bugs, now in one respect you're doing the work for the developer, who should be bug fixing this and bug checking it before he releases it anyway, assuming the person is male. But also what you may find is if you're ritualistically doing this on every release, some mod developers might appreciate what you're doing and actually send you a message and say, I'm thinking of releasing this version. If I send it to you, can you check it for me? And then you end up getting a pre-release of the mod, which you can then go through and check it, go down the configs and say, yep, it's not as it is right now, it's not causing an error during the part loading. And then sure enough you get a copy of the mod a week or whatever before, and then you get put on basically the mod testers list, and you get known to all the modders. Or the modder takes personal offence that you're finding all these bugs in his work and throws a complete hissy fit at you. But either way, so that went on far longer than I was expecting. I didn't think there was that many errors in my last config. Obviously my KSP modded directory is a work in progress, so at any one point I expect a ton of errors to be in my log file, which is exactly why I've shown you what you can expect, because the errors will be wide and varied. So that's the log file. It's not scary. A huge chunk of it is in English for you. It'll tell you what the issue is, it'll tell you what the config file is, and all you've then got to do is read the config file, navigate through the directory structures that it's looking for files, whether it's a model, texture, whatever, and try and determine for yourself what it should be versus what it's trying to get to. If in doubt, you can always put a request for assistance on the forum, or of course you can drop me a message and I'll see if I can look for it. But it depends on the mod. If I've got the mod, then I can take a look. If I haven't got the mod, then probably your best bet is with the mod developer. It could be something that you've moved, or it could be a general bug with the mod developer. So asking a query question, I'm sure somebody will help you out. So, considering we're way over time and way into a bit of an after party, anyone in chat got any questions with regards to the config file? If you have, chuck them in chat and I'll see if I can answer them. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to look at. The one with the double equals. Where is it? Go all the way back up here. Where are you? That's the one. Yep, any questions at all, chuck them in chat. And collectors. AA Atmos scoop at 250. Now, who was it? It was Ham Sandwich, was it? Nope. Nope, it was CTB RAM that actually said it. Let's see. Looks like the name was incorrect as well. The name just ended with an underscore. You mean that one there? Actually, it flows onto the next line. One of the problems with using WordPad is that it does word wrapping. Bye. Grab. Really? Come on. You know what? If I just open it up with Notepad in here, you can see that it doesn't do any word wrapping, which is why I prefer and recommend Notepad++. So that's what it's actually pointing to. So if you're still there, CTB RAM, that then answers what you were saying. And again, my apologies for not looking at chat at that point. Doesn't look like there's any questions coming up in chat. Well, if anyone's got any questions in the meantime, feel free to drop me a message. If it's something quick and simple, I may just reply to the message, or I might include it in the next episode for intermediates. So in this episode we looked at deleting a part, which is quite simple. We also looked at a new module for parts, which was the generator module. Briefly went over its syntax. Again, the syntaxes for that can be found in the KSP's own wiki. And then we went through with a fine-tooth comb through our log file and found a load of errors with mods themselves. We found a few config errors which were caused by me moving parts, which you're always going to get if you move them out of the default directory. And so I showed you how to go and find them, how to go and fix them. So, if anyone discovers any log file errors that they're struggling to fix themselves, then feel free to drop me a message. If it's something quite simple then again I'll just reply to you and tell you what you need to look for. If not, I may well somehow manage to find a way of putting it on the stream. Excuse me, getting kind of tired now. So yeah, if I can, I will try and help out. If not, I will point you in the right direction. So before we end the stream, shout out goes to the Fish in a Spaceship and Lone Wolf of North. I believe those two are the new followers to my channel. I've gone through all the followers and make sure that I am following them back. So, if you leave me a follow, then I will follow you back. Simple exchange. So, that's all from me. I'm CW. Majorly heavy, and to be honest, I find it really boring half the time going through the log file. But you can find loads of errors that really bog down KSP if you don't take a look at your config files. If you don't look at your log files for errors in your config files. So that's all from me. Any questions at all, give me a holler. And I will see you next time. Don't forget, cables aren't just for Christmas, they're for life. Greetings, I've just spotted that Lone Wolf of North is hosting me. Thank you, sir, for your 4 viewers, I believe. Yep. I was going to end the stream there. I suppose I can do a little bit more for you guys. You'll all be in Lone Wolf's chat. What can we take a look at? Well, just to briefly recap for you guys, in my stream I have taken a look at the KSP log file and gone through in depth looking for errors, and the last one was actually with a part that I had installed. And I've actually just remembered what I said that I was going to go through this episode is actually grabbing individual parts from a mod. So actually I can go through that with you guys now. So as some of you will be aware, these parts here are actually grabbed from Carbonite. However, I'm modifying them to work with my own modded KSP. So, gonna walk you through how to basically grab a single part from a mod without installing the entire mod. So first of all, what you obviously need to do is to download the mod itself. I've done most of that already. If we have a look in the 0.9 mods directory, you can see everything that I have downloaded. So let's take a look at something that I haven't installed, which may be difficult to find. We'll look in the new directory. Mark III cargo loading ramp. You know, I haven't installed that, so let's go and extract it and take a look. Right, inside the zip file, got game data, SXT, parts, Mark III, ramp, and there's only one there. So how do you install it? Well, it's pretty much the same as any. Because it's a single part, you can just go all the way back to game data here, right click on it and copy, and then go to our 0.9 modded, go into the game data there, just do edit, paste. That's simple. Puts a copy of the SXT directory in there. Parts, the Mark III ramp shows up. Do you need to do anything more than that? No. KSP will look through any of the directories within game data directory, models, textures and configs. Does it automatically. Don't need to do anything else. It will also look in parts directory in the KSP base directory, but that was supposed to have been discontinued and it hasn't, but I used that for basically part testing, which a lot of my parts get copied into there while I'm playing with their configs. It's not something that you guys need to do. You can quite happily edit the parts within game data. So let's look at something else that we can chuck in. Mark IV system. That's an entire system by the looks of it. You know what? We're going to go into Keythane and let's see what parts it's got. I already extracted it? Nope. So this is the Keythane mod itself. I'm going to go straight into it. It's loaded into game data, Keythane. So we've got some flags. No, that's not a bad flag. If we wanted that flag on its own, how can we pull it across? Well, there are several ways of doing it. There is no flags directory in there, annoyingly, unless. So, you can, in your game data directory, you can go into the squad directory, which has a flags directory. That's where all your flags are for KSP. Well, not all of them, but all the ones provided by squad. And you can see one there that I've made called Made by Squad. That flag was made for my YouTube series, Life Universe and everything. So you can just literally drag that over to here, make sure it says copy to flags and not move to flags, and release, and sure enough it's copied over there, and KSP will automatically add that flag in as one of your options. So that's how you drag flags over. Let's have a look in here. Look in parts, shall we? You got kethane 1 meter converter, 2 meter converter, kethane generator, kethane heavy drill, kethane high gain, Kerbal blender. Is that what I think it is? Have a look at this config. What is this? Please tell me this is not what I think it is. Provide a method to extract kethane from a ready available fully renewable source. While low in mass, these sometimes break carbonate have a high energy density, yielding... Oh no, they didn't. They put a part for killing Kerbals in here. Let's take a look. Well, it's... Part module is referencing the module name that comes with the DLL. So unfortunately you need the main DLL for kethane in order for that to actually work. Well, there I was thinking of putting a Kerbal blender into standard KSP. Oh well. Turbine, is this what I think it is? A kethane turbine. Standard configs. Zero bypass turbine. Module engines. Yep, standard module. Requires kethane. Yep. Orthogonal intake? Really? Interesting module name. That module comes from ethane main DLL. A intake air. This module can certainly be modified to work with our standard KSP. You know what, let's go ahead and do it. Ethane turbine, we're going to copy that. And we're going to go into our temporary parts directory. And we've got engines in there. We're going to go edit, paste. Ethane turbine, there it is. Open up the config file and checking the model. In this case it's mesh equal, so it doesn't have paths on it. There is no replacement of textures going on, so they don't have paths, so that's all funky. Everything else we're going to keep the same. Module. Name is module engines. Well, that's a standard module within KSP, so we can leave it alone. However, it's defining a propellant as being kethane and a propellant as K intake air. Now, on our standard KSP, we do not have those resources. However, if we take a look at the resources that are within the modded KSP, or our modded KSP, We've got liquid fuel, oxidizer, excuse me, solid fuel, monoprop, xenon gas, electric charge, intake air, EVA propellant, and so on and so forth. So what we can do to get it running is just use standard liquid fuel and air. Let's go and move that over to here. So we're going to change this first one to liquid fuel, like that, making sure the capitals are correct. Ratio of 1, yep, let's leave that alone. And this part references K intake air, which we don't have. What we do have is intake air on its own. So if we remove the K, it uses the resources that we do have. Atmospheric curve, we're going to leave it the same. Velocity curve, going to leave that exactly the same. Basically, we've been through these curves in previous stream, but basically the atmospheric curve is at ground level 0, that's its ISP. At 0.45 of atmosphere, that's what its ISP is. At full atmosphere, sorry, it's the other way around. That's at basically no atmosphere, that's the ISP. At 0.45 atmospheres, that's its ISP. And at full atmosphere, that's its ISP. Velocity curve, again, is another tweak that you can make to engines. So at basically 0, not moving, it's 1. So you get the full normal ISP, the full thrust. At 850, which is meters per second, you get 0.2. And at 1000, you get 0. A lot of engines don't have the velocity curve in. You get some interesting and weird effects. It's mainly for sort of turbine engines, etc. Now, this module here, orthogonal intake, referencing a K intake air. Pretty sure we don't have anything like that within KSP. Simple way of finding it, we're going to chuck that over there. And we're going to take a look for the jet engine turbo. And we're going to look at its config file. Take a look. So we're going to scroll down here. We've got module engines. You can see the propellants there. You can see the atmo curve there. Velocity curve there. Name module animate heat. Module gimbal. Module alternator. And then it says it's got a bit of electric charge in there, but none. And it's not tweakable, and it's hiding the flow. And that is for a bug within KSP to do with the resource stacking and how it goes through all the resources within parts. So that just gets around it. And module test subject, which we've already been through. So if we go back to the jet for ethane that we're modifying, we don't have this module on a standard jet engine, so that is a module that comes with Kethane itself. So we're just going to get rid of that. Right, resource K intake air. Well, we don't have K intake air, we just have intake air. So remove the K, and that solves that problem. Module animate heat. module animate heat. That's a standard KSP module. So we can ignore that and leave it there. Module alternator. There it is. Standard KSP module, so we can ignore that. And then we just have a resource. Which in here, sure enough, yep, we have a resource exactly the same to get around a problem. So that part with those modifications will now work in standard KSP. You do not need to have Keythane installed for that now to work. Let's go back to it. It is, well, it's called the Keythane turbine. Taking a look, part name is Keythane turbine. Yep. Now these definitions in there they do look like the standard ones that come with KSP. Ooh, that's pretty much the same. Tech required, aerospace tech. Well, I'm not quite sure if we have that tech in standard KSP since I don't play career mode at all. Entry cost 50, yep. Standard. Everything is standard to here. So yeah, there's no reason whatsoever that should not work in standard KSP. Let me guess, some of you are going to want me to test it. This bit comes the fun bit. Loading up modified KSP while I'm streaming is not. Bear with me. I reconfigure Windows a little bit. Get rid of stuff that I'm not using. Let's go ahead and see if I can make it correct. Task Manager here on my right hand monitor, which is what you can see at the moment. And we're watching the KSP exe here. So we're just shy of 1 gig memory usage at the moment while it loads. It's just broken 1 gig. As soon as KSP gets from a white screen to a black one, I'll switch you over. And there we go. So chuck you over to modded. I took your time OBS. Oh, it's telling me that Universal Storage has an update available. Guess I'll be downloading that update before I file a bug report. So, are we going to take bets as to whether KSP will crash on load while I'm streaming? Probably about a 50-50 chance of that happening. We're at 1.9 gig. 2 gig. 2.1. 2.2. 2.3. 4. As you can see, it takes an awfully long time to load. But then again, my PC is like that, pretty much pushed to the maximum. 0.5 gig. Now on this particular screen, it's not telling me how many patches are actually applied. Because the text for the patches is white, and this little bit here, where it would come up and show me, white. There we go, module manager is loading, and as you can see, there's just there, gives me the count, right where there's a white patch. I know what it should be that it's saying. It should be saying 1433, something like that. Patches applied. Yep, that's a lot of patches. And sticking around about 2.5 gig at the moment. And the good thing is, I think the last time I ran my modded KSP on stream, it was doing about 2.8 gig, 2.9 during loading. But since then, one of the things that I've looked at on stream is how to actually clean up KSP so it uses a bit less memory. Now that actually looks like it might be stuck. That's interesting. 2x1 hollow house. You know what? We can go take a look at this. I don't know if anyone has actually ever had modded KSP get stuck before, but here's how you try to find out what the problem is. So you open your KSP log file and it gives you the log as it's going through. You then scroll right down to the bottom. This is where it's up to. So you can see here that it's stuck right around here somewhere. This gives me no information whatsoever. And again, it's just stuck. No help whatsoever. The log file isn't on that one, I'm afraid. So there is one simple thing that we have to do. Terminate KSP. Let Windows sort out its memory for a moment, and then reopen it. Just in case for some reason KSP got its knickers in a twist and it was just a one-off. Hopefully. which, yes, that means we've got to sit through waiting for it to load again. As you can see here, memory usage is counting up. Still at a white screen. There we go. Shut you over. Come on, OBS. Go. Now, hopefully that won't get stuck at the same point. If it does, then we're going to have to actually look into the config for that part itself. Hoping that it won't get stuck there. Fingers crossed and touch wood. Of course, it could be that the part that we've installed is causing a problem within KSP. There is a simple way of finding that out. But hopefully, this will load this time. Flip over to our performance tab. KSP is chewing up a load of memory. Well, this is the bit where we find out. Wood. And there we go. It must have just been one of those one-off instances where KSP got its knickers in a twist over something. But, well, we checked the log file out, so we didn't see anything indicating a problem. So, simple answer, terminate KSP and restart it. There you go, that might be something that not very many of you will have come across before. It does happen from time to time when you have mods installed. So we're going to go into the save game that I've got for part testing. It's a pretty big save file, so it does take a while to load it. Memory usage 2.9 gigabytes. Yay. As you can see, I've got several chips and whatnot on the go. Mainly for resource scanning, for basically testing that I've got Regolith set up properly with custom resources. So, the part that we installed, if we take a look in engines, was the Kethane engine, and that's that one. Sure enough, it's installed. Right click on it, alternator, yep, using liquid fuel and intake air. You know, that's a very weird engine. Let's go build a plane. Why not? Let's go build something. This entire stream for way over 2 hours now, I have just done nothing but go through config files and the error log. So you know what? I fancy building something. And I'm sure you guys will love me to build something with a part that I have just literally this second thrown in. So let's go for it. What did that part actually look like? Put it in. Right, it does look like it bolts on. So, in that case then, we can use something funky. Mark 2? Put it on a shuttle. No, let's not. Yeah, let's use a Mark 2. That's the Mark 1. The Mark 2. Okay, what's it just done? Oh, there it is. Oh, I was zoomed in. Right, then we want structural that it'll be under. As you can see, I've got a load of modded parts installed, which is why KSP takes up a huge ton of memory. Blackluster Labs installed, I've got Hex Trust System installed, B9. Go and grab that. Ooh. Cool. Ooh. That one's a standard part, isn't it? Oh no, that's not a standard part. That's not a standard part. Yeah, that's what'll do. Never mind with one of them. Where is... Where is it? HL? No, it's not a HL. Oh, I can't remember which copy. No. T. One. The S2. Structural, we want further down these parts. That one. Yes, we need adapter as well. As the air intakes on, which is that one. Remember what size this jet engine was. That size by the looks of it. Then needs rotating. Ah. Or other one. You know what? We're gonna want some wings on this. What wings do I have in here? Have we got some really big wings? Yep, pretty much like that. Ooh, yeah. Check them out. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. No, nuts. Well, I need to change the tank variants for that, but never mind. Have a tank variant on them? No, of course not. There's no tank variant on the wings. Helpful. We now need control surfaces. Memory serves, they are the crappy small ones. We want big ones. Them. Come on, thank you. How you do this? Really? Wow. Okay. Manually then. That's the wrong type, so on here. I think they were made for it. And big one here. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh dear. KSP is about to crash. I've just got a grayed out screen. And yeah, KSP has crashed. Problem details. Well, I'm going to chuck this over to there, and hopefully you guys will be able to see this. There you go. KSP has stopped working. Problem event name app crash. Anything usable out of this app crash here? No. Nope, nothing usable in there. Have a look in the log file wherever I've put it. It's telling me that the KSP log file has been edited. Do you want to load the changes? Yes, please. Why do I have this menu up? Go away. Anything in here? So we're scrolling all the way down to the bottom. And it's telling me B9 Aero Wing was added to ship. Part count 9. B9 control surface added. Part count 10. Control surface added here. Telling me there's API extensions, yep. Stage count 0, and then it just point blank crashes. Well, checking online for a solution really isn't give us anything, so let's go and do a quick close. Now, I wonder if going to the KSP 90 modded, is that one? Nope. So, that's not a KSP crash. That is Windows itself giving up, basically. I would hazard a guess saying that Windows could not free up memory that KSP asked for, so it crashed. Yes. It's helpful. We're going to go ahead and try this again. A friend of mine's messaged me saying that it snowed by a good half a foot where he was last night. I've just said, FedEx me some over, please. See if you haven't worked it out, I am in the UK and we don't get a lot of snow. One of the things I love is snow, because snow brings chaos to order. That's one of the things I really like doing. Okay, so KSP has gone from its white screen, so I'm going to chuck you back over. Let's see if I get this thing to work. Now I'm going to close down a couple of things here, see if I can free up a little bit more memory. Get rid of Notepad++, free up every little bit that we can. Shut down Skype. And hopefully I've just freed up just enough memory so I can go and build something. Anything else that I can get running in memory at the moment? Nope. Pretty much about it. So we're going to have to cross our fingers and just hope that I have freed up enough. I always have issues running my modified KSP with OBS, because my modified KSP has a general tendency to be a very big memory hog. And OBS likes to stick its fingers up and say no. So I really want to show you that part actually working. I could, of course, well, probably take something like a Mark 1 pod Stick a small liquid fuel tank underneath it, stick the engine on underneath that and launch it as a rocket. That'd probably work. I'd need an air intake, but that can be easily done. Sure, that'd work actually. So KSP is loaded. Now unfortunately we didn't save the previous ship, so... Actually I could have just gone into another saved game rather than loading this one, but never mind. We're already at 2.8 gig. Borderline as to what Windows can actually release. Well, with OBS running as well. We'll release up to 3 gig, but because OBS is running, OBS takes up a little bit of that. So, we have the S2 reusable pod. Love to know what's actually reusable about it. For all, we want the S2 stuff. We want the S2 to S2 wide adapter with air intakes. Here's that one. And then we want the wide to 4, which is that one. Engines, we want this one. Come on. Go. Then we're going to rotate this around. You know what, I'm going to point it vertical. Double it. Now, that's not right. Really? Ah, cool. Noticed that previously. Absolutely brilliant. Do this manually. That looks a bit more like. So then we wanted the super huge wings. Oops. That in symmetry. Added fuel to this and got rid of the oxidizer, because we're not going to be using the oxidizer. Come on. Showing me the centre of mass. Well, that's new. Where's the centre of mass indicator? Hey. Wow. No centre of mass indicator. KSP. Okay. I'm going to put those two on there, and then we're going to assign them to pitch only. And then we're going to put here. That. Assign these to roll only. I'm going to hook a bin on here. Bing. Bing. Was that really big one, like that one? A bit too big. I think I just found the centre of mass indicator. Oh no, that's the centre of thrust. Gonna give me a centre of mass indicator? No? You know what? Let's have two of these. Vertical, that is vertical. And then we want undercarriage. Big, heavy undercarriage. Now, without a centre of mass indicator, they're basically just going to be guessing as to where the hell they go. Nope, still doesn't want to. Give this a name. Oops. Ethane engine tester. Save. And let's go for a launch. Nan? Really? So somehow we've got a not a number error that has managed to creep its way into our plane. Is Nan. I suspect due to engines. Yep, correct. Okay, so we do seem to have something weird going on with these engines. Stop it. Just be error. And that's what it looks like it is. That. Don't seem to be able to recreate the error. Oh well. Right, so go ahead and now that we have centre of mass indicator, we can go and set this plane up properly. Assuming it doesn't start balking parts like that. Really, KSP? Really? Well, there we go. Centre of mass slightly ahead of the centre of lift. I want to move these back slightly to, yeah, about there. We also want to move the wings back a touch more as well. About there, because the centre of mass is going to move, actually it's going to move forward, isn't it? And the tank drains. Actually, I'm going to want it bang on for liftoff. There we go, let's go ahead and launch. Oh, there's another bug that I found. Be an editor bug, that one must. Pretty sure that nan error will show up in the log file. And there she is. Go ahead and see if she flies. Uh-oh. That didn't look good. Something weird is definitely going on here. Suspect something that I have installed has decided to cause a problem. Oh, there we go. These engines are working. Plenty of thrust to them. I wonder if these things will go ballistic. Oh yes. Uh-oh, overheat. You can see down there something's unscrewy. But we are nose straight up. And we are going pretty darn quick. And accelerating. So these engines are indeed working. But I need to go and find out what I've installed recently and what it is that's bulking up KSP now. I highly doubt it's these engines that are causing it. But of course I will definitely test that. You know what? Let's just let them flame out. See what altitude I can get to. And there we go. I'm pretty sure if I spam the intakes on that, I'll be able to go higher. I'm sure if I start bouncing off the atmosphere, it'll also go higher. They're quite nice engines actually. Just gonna let it do its thing. Now it's falling back down again. Too worried about it, just let the autopilot take care of it. Pretty much like that. Go and manually now point it straight down so that we can recover from what is effectively a stall. Throttle and start pulling up. And no problemo. Go and attempt a landing, shall we? I'm quite high up, so... Great big delta wing. Gotta love it. Now, one thing I didn't put on this is air brakes. And again, I wish I had done. Got the gear. Oh wow, I didn't realise I was going that slow. Okay. We have a very slow glider here. Ow. Hardly used any fuel at all. 100 units. Oh, stop that. It does like to yaw. Whack the brakes on, just have a little bit of fun. The nose is slightly up, and hey presto. That's not bad. Go for a speed test, shall we? Uh-oh. Well, we know we can go nearly vertical. Overheat here. Watch the engine performance. Very nice ISP at ground level. See how good it is at atmo skipping. Of course, normally I just use the flight computer to do this, but kinda didn't install one. Right, let's go ahead and pitch over. Just 10 degrees nose up. We are still climbing, but we are gaining impressive amounts of speed. Now I should point out I do have deadly re-entry installed, so this could get interesting. We'll open up the throttles. Now, specific impulse is coming down, but the thrust is going up, which is always a good thing. Speed's increasing, let's go and shallow off a bit. So, I wonder, can this be used as part of a space plane? Maybe an SSTO? Forward speed is actually dropping because we're falling. Touch. We may need more air intakes to atmoskip properly. See if we can fly this knife edge, shall we? Now we do have a ton of liquid fuel on board. Some of it we could dump, which would then give us more lift. Well, less weight resulting in more lift. Oh, this isn't so bad the way it is. Oh, let's just sit like this for a bit. Pretty sure it's not going to get... Well, I'm positive it's not going to get anywhere near orbit. It's getting quite high so far. Gotta be careful these engines don't start flaming out on me. Too bad. Because we don't have very big vertical surfaces, any difference in thrust between left and right will make this spin wildly, and that's never fun. Oh, engine's starting to struggle. Not doing too bad on speed though, mind. I'm going to watch the vertical fins, see if they start deflecting. If they do, we know we've got differential thrust between left and right. Now that being said, I wonder if I can cheat a little bit with fuel balancer, because it will shift intake air around. I do transfer out. That's how you cheat. Oh yeah. So, what you can do in TAC Fuel Balancer, which is something they may want to change, is the intake air resource is shown up that you can balance. So this bit here has got the air intakes on. If you tell it to transfer out, we'll transfer them into your engines. Now the first thing I've just noticed is the intake air has bottomed out to 0 and these engines haven't fueled out. There we go. As you can see, it's pumping the air intake around quite a bit. Go and throttle right back. Oh dear. Well, we're now in a very weird vertical flat spin. Oops. Oh, hope you guys haven't had anything for lunch yet. There we go. And let's go and throttle up to full again. That's one way you can cheat a little bit. You know what? Go and nose all the way up. Ooh, that was close. I almost killed my engines then. Over again. I have noticed the handling of this has changed. Get interesting. So we're watching this value here. When this starts to seriously plummet, then we know we're about to run out of air intake. What did we get up to last time? Was it 16,000, something like that? Definitely taking a lot more pitch authority here. $17,000, that's not bad. Come on, get me higher. Get me higher, get me faster. Oh, boosters! Right, so we're going to watch for the intake adapter that's currently yellow on the fuel balancer. And when that suddenly decides to plummet, we're going to start throttling back. Some air in the actual turbines that are currently white below it. Then all four engines should be burning with the same thrust. Let's see how high we can get. Go. Throttle back a touch. And we're decelerating. Go. Accelerating again. I think we've reached the maximum. But we are still accelerating. Engine's up to full again. There. Go and pitch radically up here. Nope, we're at full nose up. Well, need to do one on this side as well. Yep. Pulling hard back. Oh, we've stalled. Go ahead and head home. Stop. No, no flat spins. Interesting set of engines here. Now, can anyone remember where we took off from? I believe it's right around this direction somewhere, maybe? Maybe quite far out. In fact, I think that island is further up than I think it is. I wonder if it's going to just sit there for me. Kinda interesting. We're rising again. Of course, we will rise as we burn off fuel. Maybe we started with too much fuel. Maybe we still have too much fuel. I'll try and dump some. It's just slow. Uh-oh. That's a fair bit that we dumped. Ow. Oh. Now that has just increased our rate of ascent. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's shifted the weight centre of mass forward. But we are going faster. So we're going to a flat spin. Come back off on the throttle. Nope, it's pretty much trying to straight line now. Wow, this one's a long stream. Coming down ever so slightly. A little bit more. There we go. Climbing again. It looks like we're going to beat 20,000. Oh, 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 oh. Intakes are rolling off rapidly now. Head and throttle back a touch. And we're slowing down. Getting a little bit too much. There we go, that might be a good balance. Oh, rolling back. Go. A 1,000 maybe? Maybe. Come on. That's 21,000. Balance the engines a bit here. That just hit the knife edge there. Atmo skipping at 21,000. Pretty much full pitch authority here. We are descending slightly. We much need a lot more in the way of air intakes. But those engines aren't too bad. I need to investigate that bug that's going on, because I have no pilot there and my staging seems to be kaplooey over. Not quite sure what's caused that. Now we just have to find KSC and land again. Hopefully. We are of course quite nose heavy. It does seem to be sitting where it is quite nicely.